Hey folks, Maverick Indicators here. All right, we are heading to the downside. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. I think, here, let me get into a few of these guys. Let me get into like 5 micros. Oh, and I got a sell signal. Look at that. So I'll explain why I'm in this trade right here. And then we'll get into it. Look at this beautiful sell signal right here. Let's go. I love me some Maverick signals right there. The sell signal. I'm just getting into some micros today, and I'll tell you why. We've just had, 3 historic days on ES? I mean, just like 3 historic all-time highs. And we're just due to come down. I mean, I got to imagine that to have 4 historic days in a row, I don't know. So my bias is already bearish. It was bearish yesterday, but the indicators told us otherwise, and we took some awesome longs. So as we get into today, I'm looking at this thing, and I held my horses coming out of the open. Now, the open, you could have done well to the upside. That's fine. But I was just like, man, we got a ways to the downside. At some point, all these big boys they're gonna take profit. So we'll see. Now, we could end up with a day where we're just like this. That's totally possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play micros. And the reason I like to play micros is I can give it more wiggle room, right? Because if I'm playing with some minis, it's $12.50 per ES contract. Well, with a micro, you got to move the decimal right here, okay? So it's only $1.25 per tick, which allows me to give it a lot more room to head to the downside versus kind of like, hey, I'm in 3 minis like we normally do. And, I got to keep my stop loss a little tighter because I don't want to blow a funded account on, trying to go too heavy. So, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to scale in and then scale out. Okay. So, add 5 more contracts here, add 5 more contracts there. And then just trim as we start going down. But look, guys, I am only in 5 micros. Micros. Are you kidding me? So I'm going to add 2 more. Okay. So I'm still not even, this is less than me trading 1 mini. And in short order, we're up $200. Okay. So let's talk about this because I feel like we got a lot of room to the downside. I'm going to move my take profit way down here just to get it out of the way for this. All right, so why are we in this trade? Let's talk about it. Why are we in this trade? Well, first things first, we got a red background. The bears are in control, okay? The bears have been in control since about 10:25 a.m. when the Maverick AI Pro colored the background red. You can see before that we were all green and it was just moving up. So, Maverick AI Pro colors your background to who's in control, the bears or the bulls. The second thing, okay, is we have hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. And we haven't seen a lot of pink on the ES chart in a while because the last few days have been historic highs. But if you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. Bright green is your strongest upside data candle. Look at yesterday. Let's go back to yesterday. Let me scroll back here. Look at yesterday. Another historic day. Oh, I still have my drawing tool. Sorry, guys. But look at this. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Anybody that had the Maverick AI Pro yesterday, and go back to the comments, look at all the people that won. I mean, guys were crushing it. You guys were absolutely smashing it with micros, for crying out loud. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Bright green is your strongest upside data candle. By the way, we were above the Maverick guide the whole day. This blue line, we like to go long when price is above the blue line. We like to go short when price is below it. Unstinking believable. I'm going to add 2 more contracts. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Wow, I keep doing that. I got to take off my drawing tool. All right. So let me go back here. So that's all middle of the night action. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Okay, so let's get back to here. Got a red background. Bears are in control. Hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. We got a sell signal right here from the Maverick signals. Love it, love it, love it. By the way, all our indicators in the Ultimate Edge bundle work on NinjaTrader and TradingView. We give you a license for both because that's just the cool thing to do. All right, so we got an A+ setup down here on the Ultimate Trading Assistant, the Maverick Radar. The Maverick Radar is going through a bunch of our indicators and grading them, each one. Then it gives an overall grade. It either says you have no score, a B setup, or you have an A setup. Now, you don't have to wait for an A setup. You can get into a B setup if all your other indicators are saying yes. We stack probability. We talk about this in every chart. But you know what? Not many people can do it because they don't have patience. We're stacking probability. Okay? I spelt it right today. Stacking probability. If it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it sounds like a duck, it's probably a duck. Okay, well, we got a red background, bears are in control, hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. You got a sell signal here from the Maverick signals. You got an A+ setup to the downside on the Ultimate Trading Assistant, the Maverick Radar. The analogy I always give is like, how many times have you gotten into a trade, you get stopped out and you go, what the heck was I thinking? Let the Maverick Radar be your eyes. Let it confirm what you think you're seeing. See how the zones are going crazy right now? That's because we're in potential market manipulation time. I believe the first minute and the last minute of a 5-minute turn is when the market makers try and misdirect the retail traders. So you're going to see a little bit of wackiness, at least for the next 40 seconds or so. Up here, the Maverick Multi-X is solid red. Think of T1 through T5 as traders, they're algorithms, but think of them as traders, and they're voting across 6 time frames. Instead of having 6 charts on your monitor and trying to read all of them, I can't do that. Maybe you can do it. I ain't that good, okay? I like this little guy up right here, 5 traders voting across 6 time frames of your choice. You can actually add a 7th time frame. And you can collapse this whole thing. If this is taking too much room on your chart, you can collapse it down to just one row. And let them guide you. You know what's going on the lower time frames. You know what's going on the higher time frames. And right now, it's very, very bearish. Now, of course, you just had 1, 2, 3 candles in a row to the downside. You're going to have a little retracement. That's totally natural. Okay. All right. So we got to wait. We're getting out of manipulation time. You're back to your A+ setup. You lost it during manipulation time, but that's why we pay attention the first minute and the last minute of a 5-minute turn. So what is it? It's 11:21. So from 11:19 to 11:21, I'm sitting on my hands. Okay. This, I believe the market makers are trying to misdirect you on what you think the next candle is going to do. And then this guy, I believe, is, the first minute is misdirection. So if they're going to go down, they go up a little bit. If they're going to go up, they're going to come down a little bit. It's pretty interesting. Watch your charts. Okay. So look at this. This is the Maverick zones. What are we doing? We're putting we're not just taking, oh, there's a sell signal. Let's sell. That's not what we're doing. We're putting this all together. Does it take a little practice? Yeah, that's just like anything, right? You know what I'm saying? That's just like anything. Look at this. Look at this score. What do you got? A 92. See how it keeps coming in and out? Because when price is too far away from it, it stops calculating the score. Price is right on the tick of being close enough to calculate a score. Because if you have a zone way up here, we're not going to calculate the buying or the holding score up here, the support or resistance score. It's too far away, right? Okay, so you're right at this turbulent mode where it's either going to come down or it's going to come up, but this is why you're getting these zone calculations, okay? Doesn't always do this. It's just because we're close enough. So what's happening now is the Maverick zones is auto drawing your support and resistance zones. See how skinny this guy is, and then how big this one is? Well, the reason is because it's running a formula, probability formula on where that zone should be, and then how wide it should be. So it's saying, hey, this guy should be this wide up here, but you know, this next zone, it's really skinny, okay? And what's cool is as price gets close to it, it calculates a probability score of price holding or breaking. Anything less than 90% is game for breaking. Anything greater than 90% is like a brick wall. Or we like to think of it like a brick wall. Now, can somebody tweet something and it just break right through a 99 score zone? Absolutely, right? Market can do anything at any time. But we're trying to put probability on our side. So we lean on probability formulas. What happens more times than not is what you're trying to create a high probability formula. So if you notice, this was like what, a 93 or something like that when price got close to it. Price a lot of times likes to move away from your strongest zone. Where's your strongest zone? It was right here. You were in the 90s. Look at what price is doing. Pushing straight down. Guys, we're not even in 1 mini. We're in 9 micros. I mean, this is like, we're pretty close to 1 mini though, right? But how stinking cool is this? This is clear vision. If you're new to the channel, if this is the first time you're seeing these indicators, might look like a lot. But once you get used to them, you're like, oh, this is actually really simple, you know? It's like your first day on a job and everything seems complex and you're like, gosh, I hope I do well here. And you're like trying to learn all the systems and stuff. But then after like a month of being at that job, you're like, you know, the new person starts and you're teaching them and they're overwhelmed and you're like, I promise you, it's really simple. Okay, that's what this stuff is. This is why we made it so visual. Red background, the bears are in control. Hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. Bright green is your strongest upside data candle. People say, how do I stay out of chop? Well, we tell you, don't get into gray candles. How do I stay out of chop? Don't get into gray candles. How do I stay out of chop? Don't get into gray candles. How do I stay out of chop? Don't get into gray candles, right? Okay. Maverick AI Pro colors your candles to the data, to a formula that we have come up with, not price and direction, okay? So red background, bears are in control, hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Then we got what? A sell signal right here. I'm actually gonna, I can't add, I gotta wait. I gotta wait 15 more seconds before I can add. We're in manipulation time. 10 more seconds, okay? We have hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. We got an A+ setup on the ultimate trading assistant down here, going through a bunch of your indicators and your checklist down here, and then it's giving you this overall grade of an A+ to the downside, okay? Let me see, do I wanna add a couple more here? I wanna make sure that we didn't get caught up in, I wanna see it push. Give me a push. I got a confidence arrow that keeps coming in and out. That's not a sell signal. That's a confidence arrow right here that keeps coming in and out because it calculates per tick. See, you had a confidence arrow here, here, here. I'd like a nice push down to add. I want to make sure that I don't get just, because see these zones, 79, 78, equal zones. What could happen for the next 20 minutes? We just bounce in between these zones before we head to the next zone, because we got to chew through all these orders that are keeping it from moving to, this is a zone-to-zone game, folks. This is a zone-to-zone game. Look at this. Look how it just stopped on this zone. Look at that, okay? This zone was drawn at 4 p.m. yesterday. And look at it, just hit it to the tick. It's insane. It's absolutely insane, okay? Again, all our indicators in the Ultimate Edge bundle work in NinjaTrader and TradingView. All 5 traders are still very bearish across 6 time frames. Okay? We just got to give it time. All right? ES moves slow, doesn't move quick. Okay? All right, I'm going to add. I'm just going to add one more. So now we're equal to being in 1 mini. All right? Why? Because I just want to give it room. I don't want to blow an account on a day like this, and I believe we have a tremendous amount of downside potential. Check this out. This is the Maverick AI Pro. It's going to be coming out on NinjaTrader and TradingView in about 3 weeks or so, okay? And these levels were on your chart, would have been on your chart at 7 a.m. And look at this. You had your call wall too. Price came up, came really close to it, got hung up on the expected move line, and now where are we heading? We're heading to 7,700, it looks like. You have nothing in between here. Now, could we just scoop out and then take our time and then come back? Yeah, absolutely. But you're heading towards 7,700 right now. Got a down confidence arrow. Pretty cool. And so this is the Maverick AI Pro. These are dealer hedging levels. These are dealer hedging levels, meaning that market makers need to make a decision. They need to make a decision at these levels. These are very important levels. They need to hedge their positions at these levels. Okay? It's unbelievable how price reacts at these levels. It's so stinking cool. This is going to be on NinjaTrader and TradingView. We are almost done the server to support both. We in-house calculate these every morning. Comes with a morning email and an afternoon email. The morning email is going to have the game plan. But look at this. This is crazy. If you didn't know these dealer hedging levels were here, this is going to be a game changer for so many folks. And we'll explain what all these levels mean. They all do different things. They all mean different things. But this is going to be really, really cool. All right. So here we go. And it doesn't replace the Maverick zones. I got that question before. It's like, no, the Maverick zones is during your trade. You just want to know where these dealer hedging levels are. So if you're going to go long here, you know this is your second call wall. I mean, this is the ceiling's ceiling. So like you've already broken through the ceiling. You're in the attic right here. So if before you think about going long into this dealer hedging level, this gamma level, you might want to think twice, because only on crazy historic days do we just keep breaking through. But you're in the attic here. This isn't the ceiling. This is the ceiling. So and look what price did. Came up and then tapped it. And where are we going? Probably 7,700. Will we come all the way down to 7,700? I mean, who knows, right? But that's where the market maker needs to make a deal. So if you're going to take a short in the 7,700, you're like, let me see what happens at 7,700, because the dealer, might change your plans, okay? And we'll go through all that, especially with the game plan email and all that stuff. Okay, we're in manipulation time, market manipulation time. So we're going to sit on our hands. By the way, I'll put all the links in the description. Sometimes people are wondering where to go. Where do I go? And it's like all the links are in the description. So check it out. So anyway, I'm in this for the long haul. I'm just going to hang out. I'm just going to keep watching this thing. I'm not going to look for the world. I'm just going to put on some micros, and I'm just going to let this thing roll down, right? Okay. And if it comes back up, taps me out at break even, I'll let it. And then I'll just re-enter, like no big deal, unless my indicators tell me otherwise. And then we just start flying back up, because Wall Street is on this high of the last 3 days of historic highs. That's okay too. That's fine. And I'll just reverse my position and I'll just follow the indicators. Okay. Right now you just had 1, 2, 3, 4 down candles in a row. That's 20 minutes of down candles. You're going to get some retracement. I mean, you don't get 12 down candles in a row. You know what I mean? All right. So I'm just going to leave my chart up. We'll just keep watching this thing. Again, if I get, I'll bring my stop loss down to break even. I want to give it a little wiggle room back to the Maverick guide. My account can handle that. But probably what will happen is once I get down here, if we do, I'll put it at break even, and I'm just going to let this sucker ride. And yeah, it should be a fun day. All right. So listen, if you want clear vision on your charts, if you want to know when the bears are in control, if you want to know what's actually going on underneath the hood rather than just red and green candles, if you want to know if you see pink, it will most likely sink. Let's look at yesterday. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Bright green's your strongest upside data candle. Hot pink's your strongest downside data candle. Okay. If you want to know, here, let me get back here. Sorry. If you want to know, what's going on on the Ultimate Trading Assistant. See, you lost your A+ setup because you're getting a little bit of, I wouldn't enter here, but we're already in, it's all good. If you want to know what 5 other traders think about multiple time frames, this is like trading with 5 other traders, and they're voting across 6 time frames. Maverick Trender pegged to the top down here. You got this downtrend label. Look, if you want clear vision on your charts, you want a sell signal like this. Oh, and before I jump off of here, man, shout outs. I hate saying people's names because I'm going to leave somebody out, but so many of you guys are crushing it. Big shout out to Jim. 5 evals passed in one day. Like insane. I think it was like 550K accounts passed in one day. Great job, Jim. So awesome. Again, I don't want to go through a bunch of names because I'll leave somebody out, but like insane. And I loved reading all your comments yesterday of you guys crushing it the last couple of days. Like crazy numbers. Insane. So great job there. Keep crushing it. Keep sending us in those wins. Email me about your wins. And again, we are coming up with we just got to get the Maverick Gamma Pro launched. But once that's launched, we're going to launch a program for you guys. We want to celebrate when you get funded, when you get payouts. We want to mail you something. We think it'll be really, really fun. We got some cool swag. We get some cool stuff. I think it's pretty cool. We'll see what you guys think, but I think it'll be pretty fantastic, and I think we'll have a lot of fun with it because we want to celebrate with you when you're winning. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to celebrate those wins. So I think it'll be really fun. We want to ship you something. So hang tight on that. And again, Maverick Gamma Pro will be coming out in about 3 weeks. We're just finishing up the server to be able to handle NinjaTrader and TradingView because we're in-house calculating all the data every single morning for you guys. So anyway, come check us out. All right. Again, all our indicators in the Ultimate Edge bundle work on NinjaTrader and TradingView. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Never any guarantees in any market. We know that. But we would love for you to come check us out. MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com.